Wonderful. Good morning, everybody. Today's topic is raising your standards. A common thread you're going to find with any individual or company that has achieved success over a long period of time is very high standards. A set of standards that never accepts poor performance as ordinary and is always being evaluated for areas of opportunity for improvement develops a path of success. Raising your standards should be as common as setting objectives for your sales growth. Today, let's look at some areas you should constantly be looking to raise your standards in. And so many times, the first one we're going to look at is people. The people you have working for you is the most important asset the company has. You should have very high standards for your individuals, part of the team. They should have an attitude of investment in their personal well-being, and this includes compensation, training, making sure they have state-of-the-art working equipment to perform their duties. They should be encouraged often by noticing when they go out of their way with special assistance to a customer or the company. Notice and appreciating their efforts is so rare in today's environment, yet so appreciated by the team. Make a solid effort every day to assure these things for your people, and it will show in their customer satisfaction immediately. It's an interesting fact. If you want your customers cared for, it begins with your people. And I travel so many different dealerships, and I see so many people doing it well. And we can have incredible processes in place in a lot of dealerships, and yet their people are demotivated, disencouraged, and despondent because they don't get any sense of gratification from the dealer principal, general manager, or anyone from the executive staff that says, I really care about you. I'm looking at ways to improve your well-being. Or I see a 10-year-old computer that goes down as much as it goes up, and disconnecting the internet and all of the equipment that many times the dealer thinks they're saving money. But ultimately, my absolute worst case I've seen in my entire history on dealerships investing in equipment was a copy machine in the main office of this one dealer, and it was broken for a long period of time, and they'd come in, they'd repair the piece of equipment, and then it would work for a while and be broke again because the dealer didn't want to invest in a new piece of equipment. So finally, out of total frustration, total inability to do her job, this office manager went out and actually purchased a printer to replace this constant irritant to her day in, day out life. And as crazy as that sounds, it's not uncommon. Likely, if in this discussion, you're looking at examples of your own. Oh man, I know that computer's so slow, or this person hasn't had a computer in 7 years, and they stopped supporting that version of Microsoft, and geez, they don't have back in 2000 the same equipment. Yet the dealer doesn't invest. Well, how frustrating is that to your people to see that kind of disengagement? What about your service area? Look at the equipment in the service shop. Yet many times we have no inspections of safety for lifts. We have no just standard practice of reviewing equipment in the facility. understanding if it works, if it's state of the art, but we expect our people to perform their task using it day in, day out. Don't you see how frustrating these types of things can be for your people? Or we make sure we don't take care of them and provide proper training. And we expect them to do their job where they don't even understand. I know I've run into cases where service managers get a visit from the dealer principal right after a 20 group, and they tell the individual how bad that number is. This number is so bad for us. Yet the service manager doesn't know how to attain that result or even what that number means. What are we going to do with this type of behavior? What are we going to do to make it better for our people? You see, if we make it better for the people, there's a direct connection in a lack of equipment that works properly to how we're going to care for the customer. We have to look at ways to care for our people. It's the most important asset that we have. What about our facility? You need to have very high standards for your facility. An example we'll look at today is cleanliness in your restrooms. I'm on the road a lot and travel a lot of the same roads, same highways, same places. One of the things I'll tell you about is I will make a lunch stop or a fuel stop based on if they have clean facilities. And you might think it's these little things that don't mean anything, but some fuel stations, they actually put the blue fluid in to wash your windshields and actually make sure that the squeegees are functional. Do you know I'll stop and fuel at that station before someone that has one that I stopped at that's peeled and dysfunctional and has no way to clean the windshields or the towels to wipe off the windows that are filthy? Just little things in the standards. The restrooms. You go in, have you ever gone into a restroom and it's just you use the facility and you go to wash your hand and there's no soap? Or there's no towels to wipe your wet hands off. You don't notice it. You just kind of expect there's going to be soap and hand towels in a restroom facility. And there isn't. I know over time you've had that kind of experience. If you've traveled anywhere, any length of time, you're going to have that kind of experience on the road. But over time, where I know they have high standards is where I'll make my visit. Let's say, for a fact, the days of a dealership having a vending machine in the waiting area with 12-month-old magazines has got to be behind us. We need to impress our customers with quality snacks and a selection of assorted beverages as well. Let it be known to your team that your expectation is that your customers always experience a wonderful facility, a facility that's clean, that you would like to use. And don't forget these standards that we're talking about here include your employee restrooms and break areas as well. Even if you have your customer restrooms clean and spotless, and you go back to your employee restroom and hasn't had any maintenance or cleanliness over a period of the last 10 years, and your break room has such poor equipment and moldy refrigerators and microwave that came out of someone's house 15 years ago, This is no way to treat your employees' facilities as well. Standards for your facility, always be raising them. Because believe it or not, your customer's experience will be remembered on those little things. And it matters. And the last area we're going to talk about today for high standards is yourself. Always challenge yourself with ways you can improve. When you develop self-improvement as a practice, you'll have a better quality of life for everyone around you. There are no limits to what an individual can accomplish that is always seeking to improve oneself. I know I have many times evaluated my shortcomings and areas of opportunity and ways I can improve what I do. It's a constant, consistent motion. And if you're one of these people that never evaluate yourself, I'm going to challenge you to reconsider that today. If you're not working on ways you can improve, then you're not being honest with yourself and open, you're never going to be a high achiever. If you admit your weaknesses and your areas of opportunity for growth, then develop an action plan as to what you can do to be better, to improve. And that's a part of your just consistent evaluation and action. How do I get more training? Where do I want to focus my time? How do I want my personal standards to be? What the others see? Because if it's just like a filthy restroom, really. If you never took a bath, for example, and it wouldn't be long, you'd start to have an aroma. If you have high standards for yourself and pride in personal appearance and personal results, and then you're always going to be challenging yourself. Doesn't mean you have to be a critic, but an honest appraisal of where you can lift up and be better. That's the way we're going to grow. So make raising your standards common, often, honest evaluations. Look at your people. Look at your facility. And, above all, yourself. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.
Hi, meet Christy. She's the service manager of a new car dealership. She's been looking for ways to improve her knowledge of fixed operations, but she is just not sure where to look. There are so many options these days. Christy needs a newsletter that gives her insights into today's competitive fixed operations world. She has decided to get the Fixed Performance newsletter because it comes directly to her email each and every month with no cost whatsoever. Not only does this newsletter give her the insights she's been looking for, but it also has real-life experiences in car dealerships all over North America. Now Christy has turned these stories into mandatory practices in her service department. So let me ask you, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the Fixed Performance newsletter today. Fixed Performance, where we have total commitment to your team's excellence.